Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It's already 2021. 2020 went by just like that. What a year it has been, you guys. Welcome back and welcome aboard to the journey. Hi, I'm Joyce. Welcome to our channel where we talk about conversations, lifestyle, and teacherpreneurship. It's January and it's the month of New Year's resolutions. Have you written yours? Are you still writing? How many have you written? How many are you planning to write? I remember I wrote my first New Year's resolutions back in 3rd grade when I was only 9 years old. I continued to write them year after year from primary to high school through college years. I had this cycle of being so determined during the first quarter, but by the end of the first quarter, I already have forgotten about them. It's funny because the only time that I get to revisit them was January the following year to write another set of New Year's resolutions. I then just fall back to the whole rut of being determined the first quarter and forgetting about them through the rest of the year. So this year, instead of writing and calling them resolutions, I want to focus on building and reinforcing habits towards a more productive and fruitful 2021. If you share the same journey, please tune in for 5 success habits to build this 2021, and let's cheer each other on. The first on my list, and one that has been so difficult to do in 2020, is the habit of efficient screen time management. I'm sure many of us struggle with this since we have become more dependent on technology for everyday life, and since many of us are staying at home, it has become so much easier to mindlessly binge on entertainment, fall into the social media vortex without having accountability on how we use our time. It has been especially challenging for me since all my work is online, mostly on my phone for communication and marketing, paying bills and getting paid. So managing my screen time has been especially difficult in the latter part of 2020. I also have been trying to be consistent in creating and posting content regularly for our social media accounts and YouTube channel. What has helped me with staying consistent yet at the same time minimizing my screen time is scheduling. I've been trying to stack up content as much and as soon as possible so I could upload and schedule posts ahead of time. I use the Business Suite app for scheduling Instagram and Facebook posts and the YouTube Studio app for YouTube videos. Usually during the weekend, I schedule the posts for the whole week that's ahead so everything would be out as scheduled on the exact date at the exact time without me needing to be online. Another thing that helps me is mobile parking. For a specific period of time, I just park my phone somewhere out of reach so I could focus on my quiet time maybe or on the task that I have to finish. I may put my phone in the cabinet or the drawer, in my bag, or in a different room. That is especially helpful in minimizing distractions from notifications so I could be fully present on what I have to finish. I also want to be more disciplined in implementing the first hour and the last hour no screen time habit. Basically, I just have to avoid using my phone during the first hour and the last hour of the day. Doing this has so many benefits, immensely affecting the overall quality of my productivity and of simply how my day goes. It also improves my sleep. You see, when I start using my phone first thing in the morning, I tend to check emails, messages, and notifications right away. When I do that, I become reactive rather than being directive of how I use my time and energy in that day. And therefore, ending up just consuming my time and energy on reacting rather than accomplishing key tasks that I really have to do. You know what? In my recent personality test, my introversion has spiked up to over 80%. It may not look like it, but it is what it is. Hence, I really have a limited amount of social energy in a day. You may identify with this. I also have a limited amount of mental energy. That is why I try to work with my mental peak time as much as possible. But I can't do that if I just go on wasting my time, my precious time. We can never turn back time. Once it's gone forever. Secondly, I want to build the habit of intentional learning. continuous learning and professional development is definitely a priority for me this year. I believe that education is for life, hence learning has to be a lifestyle. I am majorly a textual learner. I learn best when I read. So this year I want to be more intentional in educating myself through reading. I've put up simple systems in place to help me with this so that I could be accountable and motivated to read every single day. Firstly, I've already identified the books that I want to read this year, and I wrote down the exact month when I want to finish reading that exact book. I realize it really helps me if I'm very specific with my goals. Secondly, I've created a book reading log. In the log, I put in the date, the time that I've started reading, as well as the time that I finished reading, and of course the book title of what I've read. This helps me ensure that I've honestly had a minimum reading time of an hour. Thirdly, I record each book that I finish. I'm also set to finish at least 2 online courses this year, both in digital marketing. One is from Udemy and one is from the digital and online marketing app. The third habit is regular saving and investing. This is honestly hard, but I'm truly passionate about stewardship and personal finance. As of the moment, I only have one traditional bank where I place my moving money. It's the money that I use to pay for expenses and bills. I'm now steering away from putting savings in traditional banks simply because of inflation. Through time, our money decreases in value. So if I put an X amount of money in a savings deposit account, after a year, that exact amount of money has already decreased in value. Most traditional bank annual interest rates are average around 0.25%. In the big picture, I'm actually losing money just by putting it in a savings deposit account. So what I've recently discovered is to save in an online savings account instead. What I enjoy using is GCash Save. Its interest rate is around 3.1% annually. It's 10 times more than what traditional banks offer. This is insured by CIMB Bank. The interest is paid out monthly, but you can withdraw anytime when you want to stop saving. To become more disciplined with this, I automated my monthly savings at the end of each month. What happens is that on the scheduled date, my traditional bank deposits to my GCash Save account without me having to do it manually. Even if I do forget about it, I still save money. There are also money market funds that I'm exploring. GCash has this as well in their Invest Money feature, as they are partnered with Atrium Money Market Fund. A little disclaimer here, all investments have risks. They simply vary in degrees. So what I'm sharing here is my own preference. One that I prefer also is investing in mutual funds. My goal is to invest at least quarterly. These are somehow calculated risks that I'm willing to take to beat inflation. Personally, savings and investing is such a valued discipline for me, as it helps me to live modestly and simply and to live within my means. Fourth success habit is gratitude. I want to start and end each day with gratefulness, of simply thanking and praising God for what He has already given me and what He has already blessed me with. Sometimes I get too preoccupied of looking at things that I do not have. Mostly that just backfires with frustration and discontentment. It actually robs me of appreciating and celebrating what I already have. I thank God for a strong mind and body, of a growing spirit and relationship with Him, for family and friends. I thank Him for freedom! And this freedom has extended to work freedom. Yay! Last but not the least is the habit of network building, specifically building a network of people and of healthy and thriving relationships. When I started the WeLearn journey, I was somehow secure that God would send the right people to WeLearn, and that He'd send us to the right people as well in order to build a community of learners. And He has been doing exactly that, though slowly but surely. I want to become more intentional with this in 2021, of intentionally learning from other people's success stories and dream journeys. I cannot stress enough how important the quality of relationships and people that we surround ourselves with. to a healthy network and growing community. That's it for today's video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you've gained value from today's content. This has been your learning companion at We Learn You Never Learn Alone. See you next Wednesday. Happy New Year!